right, kids, welcome back. This is Coach G Pie, and we're talking about code.org, Computer Science Discoveries, Unit 3, Lesson 15, Keyboard Input. Our question of the day is, how can our programs react to user input? So if you recall, back at the beginning, we talked about the 4 functions of a computer. Those are input, storage, process, and output. We use that keyboard for a lot of input into the computer. So we are going to figure out how to use this keyboard now to make our programs even better. We've got one piece of new code, and it is key down and key down code. So we're going to input different keys on our keyboard for this key down block. So let's get started. Should be a fairly short lesson here. All right, level 2, we got a prediction. See if you can predict the key down block works, how it works. You do not have to write any code here. Read the code carefully, make a prediction about what will happen when you press the space bar, and write it in the box below. Be specific. All right, we're going to run the program. While the program is running, press the space bar on our keyboard and find out if we're right. So before you can hit that run key, you've got to type some things in the bar. As you know, I can't show you mine because, hey, I can't erase it, so my answer is already there. So hit pause, type your answer, come back when you're done. All right, hopefully you did that. Let's take a look at what I wrote. I said something will happen in the middle of the screen when I push the space bar. Why did I say that? Well, let's look here. We got function, draw, background white, text align center, text size 100. We've got text, and then this says key down space. So that's why I guessed the space bar, and it should be in the middle of the screen because it says 200, 200. I don't know what's going to show up, but I know something's going to show up. So let's hit run. It says false. Okay, that sounds very Boolean logic-y. Let me hit the space bar. All right, so when I'm holding the space bar, I get a true. When I let go, I get a false. True, false, true, false. Okay, let's move on. All right, level 3, this program uses the key down block to detect whether specific keys are being pressed down. Run the code and try to press the P and the H keys. Look inside the if statement to see how the code works, and add a block inside the third if statement to change the animation to a different animal. Okay, so I'm going to hit run. I've got a giraffe. Well, that makes sense. Sprite is a giraffe. Now I've got a function draw, got my background white, got my first if statement. It says key down H. Sprite is set to hippo. Oh, I'm going to try pressing the H key on my keyboard. Bam. All right, so pressing the H changes the sprite to a hippo. The next if statement says if key down P, the sprite animation is changed to pig. So let me click the P. P. All right, so I get a pig if I click P. Now the last one I have to fix. It says if key down R. What the heck is R? Let me look at the animation. What have they got me set up for? Giraffe. Rabbit. All right, they want me to code for a rabbit. So I'm going to go to the sprite store, grab this dot notation, bring it over, sprite.setAnimation, and I'm going to choose the rabbit out of the programs. Hit the run button. I got a giraffe, pig, hippo, and now rabbit. And that is it. Pause if you need to. Otherwise, we're hitting finish. All right, level 4, moving sprites. You can change your sprite's position based on key presses in the same way you changed its animations. Add an if statement inside your loop. Check whether the right arrow key has been pressed down. Add code inside the conditionals to move the sprite right if the right arrow is down. And then the question is, do you need to change your sprite's X or Y properties to move it right? Interesting. Notice that this is also part of a larger project because of that infinity symbol in the workspace. So let me see what I got. All right, I got a bug on the screen. Bug, makes sense. I've got a draw function. I've got a background of white. I now need to add an if statement that happens to be in the conditional drawer. I'm going to grab this if statement, drag it over. I'm going to drop it right here below line 9. So it says if, okay, so if key press. So I need a key press button. Okay, so that's going to be in the world drawer. So if key press down, did it say down? If the right arrow. So I'm going to change this up to right. So if I push the right arrow, that's what line 10 says. If I push the right arrow, what do I want to happen? Well, I want the bug to move to the right. So there's some math involved here. Think about our coordinates. Moving left and right, which coordinate's changing? You should have said the x coordinate because that's correct. It's the x. So I need a sprite.x. Drag it over. It's not called a sprite, it's called a bug. So now there's some math involved. So if I push the right key down, I want the bug's x position to change. If I want him to move to the right, how's it going to change? Well, take a look down there below the reset button. If you guessed it's going to increase, that is the correct answer. So by increasing, I need a plus sign from the math drawer, an plus sign equation. I'm going to wait till that spot turns yellow to let go. I need another bug.x in the front of my equation, bug.x, and then I need some math here. So I'm going to say, I don't know, plus 2. You could choose plus 3 or plus 4, it doesn't matter. So now, line 10 and 11, if I push the down arrow, or the right arrow, if I push the right arrow down, means I press it in, then the bug's x position is going to change to x plus 2, plus 2, plus 2, and so on until I let go of the right button. So let's see what happens. Reset, run. Okay, so he shouldn't move. Now I'm going to press the right arrow key, and he moves. All right, now if you are doing this on an iPad and you do not have an arrow key, you are more than welcome to assign it to another letter. You can assign it to the space bar or the A or whatever, okay? I am not going to ding you points if you've got a different command here, so long as lines 10 and 11 are set up correctly and he does move when I push that particular button, okay? So don't freak out if you're using an iPad and you go, oh my gosh, I don't have arrow keys. It's totally okay, I get it. Pause if you need to, otherwise let's hit finish. All right, bubble number 5. Let's make gears spin only when the space key is being held down. Do this. Add code that checks whether the space key is being pressed down. Move the code that makes the gears rotate so that they only rotate when the key is being pressed down. All right. They're running. That's fine, but I don't want them to run unless I press the key down. So I'm going to need a control if statement. I'm going to drop it down here in the draw function. And remember, now I need a world. So if what? If I push the space bar, so if key down space, what do I want to happen? Well, I want all these movements to happen. So they're already made for me. All I'm going to do is drag them into the if statement. Okay, I'm just dragging the rotations that are already there into the if statement, so that they only occur if I hit that space key. All right, so they're not moving. I don't want them to move. Now I'm going to hit the space key, and they move. Okay, pause if you need to. Otherwise, let's keep going. All right, in bubble number 6, feel free to choose any one you want or do all 3 for bonus. I'm going to do letter B, debug the turtle movement. Movement of the turtle, how cool. Let's find out what's going on. All right, so this turtle program breaks every time it tries to move to the left. So there's a problem with left. I expect it to move to the left. What actually happens is it stops everything And how to reproduce the error? Well, I press the left key and then everything shuts down. So here's what I've got to do for this puzzle. Run the program and play with it until you see the bug. Use the clues to fix the bug. Alrighty, debugging the code. Let me hit run. All right, up is fine, right is fine, down is fine, but now left, left does nothing, and now I can't push any of them. All right, so let's debug here. I've got an if up, y value minus y. Okay, that makes sense. I've got a key down at line 10, so that's down arrow, and that's y, and that makes sense. Up and down is manipulating the y coordinates. I've got a key left. Oh, look here. This, one of these things is not like the other. Line 14 doesn't look like line 17. Look what's missing, that dot X. I bet that's my bug. So I'm going to grab a dot X, drag it into line 14, call it turtle, and let's see if it works. Move it to the left, and it works. Alrighty, let's hit finish and move on. Finish. Unless you want some bonus points, do the other two. All right, your assessment level. Remember, I don't help with assessment or challenges. I want to see what you can do on your own. So, move in all directions. You can make a simple game that moves a sprite around the screen. Do this. Add 4 separate conditional statements that make the wing bot move in every direction. All right, I'm going to hit run, see what I got. Ooh, I got a wing bot. And he kind of looks like a Koopa from Mario, don't you think? All right, so here's what we got to do. You're using those if statements, so I'll get you started. First thing you're going to do is drag an if statement. You're going to drop it in here. Remember, you need a world block, so if what? If I push a key, let's say this one says move left, so I'm going to do the left first. So if I push the left key, what do I want to happen? I want that sprite to move to the left. So left and right, what is that? X or Y? Left and right. You should have said the X. So you're going to choose the sprite.x, drag it in there. Then you need some math. If he's going to the left, that's a minus or decreasing in value. Grab another sprite.x, throw it in there, and pick a number. Let's say decrease by 2. Don't forget to change your labels. It's not sprite, it's called flyer. And that's your help. All right. All you got to do now is finish level 7, level 8 of lesson 15 keyboard input. See you later.